So hello, how are we all doing today? Yeah, this is a little video that I don't know why I haven't done before really, but I'm going to do it today. I'm also going to move the viewfinder out a bit now that I know I'm in focus, so I stop staring at all video. Basically today, this video is going to be unedited, just uploaded as it is, and so far we're going alright. If I make a mistake or blunder, I will fix it, but I'm not going to edit it, and that's because I really want this video to feel genuine and like I'm not hiding anything from you guys. I felt like I was starting to do that with last week's video, and so now I'm going to carry on with this week's. And this is something which I don't think should be a big deal, and I don't think should be a deal breaker on whether you watch my videos or not, but in actual fact to my own life is a very big deal. And that is I am a Christian, and that is my faith, and I practice Christianity and I go to church, and I just wanted to talk a little bit more about that. So I've actually always grown up in the church. It's where my parents actually met, and it's just where I've grown up, and I've stayed at the same church for the last 19 years, and it's just been a big part of my life. And I think a lot of people would just assume that growing up in a church you're always going to be Christian. That's not necessarily the like only reason why people become Christians, that you've grown up in the church, but that's just how it was for me. Personally, I kind of always believed there was a God, but I don't think I ever really truly like decided to like give my life to God until I was about 10 years old. I still remember doing it with one of my best friends at the time, and yeah, it was pretty incredible. And ever since then I've had a relationship with God, and that has been an interesting thing. It's been a really good thing, but I also want to point out that it's not all daisies and buttercups. You still get bad bits of life, but God helps you through it. So yeah, I go to a Ealing church. I don't really know what the difference is between all churches, but we're a pretty nice friendly bunch. And I've just kind of grown up there. When I was 6, like I said, when I was 10 I gave my life to God, and I carried on kind of going to church, going to Sunday school. Then like when you're like 13, 14 you just kind of start going to church. And then when I was 16 I got baptised. I was in the youth group at the youth group at the time. I'd always gone to like the younger youth groups for like 8+. I'd always been involved in the social side of church as well, and I still am very heavily. And then after I got baptised that summer, we went on camp and stuff, and then when we came back in September I started helping out with the children's work on a Friday night, so working with 8 to 11 year olds. No, I think it was 8 to 13 year olds, and that was really good fun. And then when I was about 17, and it was probably halfway through the school year, college year, whatever I was in at the time, my youth leaders, because I was still going to youth as well, approached me about doing, helping like lead a Youth Alpha course. And for any of you who don't know, Alpha is like an introduction into church and the Bible, and it's just sort of a course. It's just sort of a course that a lot of churches run, sort of an introduction into the church and what it's all about and what we believe. And it's a really open, safe space to come and ask questions. You might have one in your area if you're questioning things. I'm not sure. I know there's definitely quite a lot in the UK. I'm not sure about anyone else. And so we did that sort of over, I want to say 6 weeks while we were at youth, but it might have been a bit more. Yeah, it probably was a bit more, but it was a really good time, really enjoyable. And I was still only 17 at the time, but I was about to turn 18, and I just got an email through inviting me to a youth leaders meeting, so I was like, oh okay, I'm just going to go then, because I was sort of like in the middle. I wasn't a youth leader, I wasn't not a youth leader, I was just somewhere in the middle. And because our youth group is 13 to 18, it's really awkward when you're that 17, 18 year old. Still pretty awkward now, and I'm nearly 20, but yeah, so I went to the youth leader meeting, and ever since I've sort of kind of slid into the youth work. I don't know quite how it happened, but I'm really glad I did. I love doing the youth work. And yeah, I guess, I don't know, I guess a lot of people would ask why I'm still a Christian when, you know, very common in the 21st century to be influenced by a lot of different things when you're growing up. But I would like to say that I always like to respect everyone's opinion. I love having big discussions about faith, and people who are atheists and people who are Christian and people who are Muslim and people who are Hindu and every other religion. Like, I think it's really, really interesting. And I love being able to have those conversations. The fact that we can openly have those conversations, especially in the UK, is like amazing. But I don't know, like, I guess my youth group has been a massive part of like keeping me, I guess, on the straight and narrow with that relationship with God. Like when I was younger, because there were so many times where I could have just like, oh, instead of going to youth this Friday, I can just go out to this house party. I may have done that once or twice, but on the whole, I kind of carried on going to church. When I became an adult and no longer had to go to church, like my parents never forced us to go to church when we got to like 14, 15, I still wanted to go. When I got a job and I had to work Sundays, like every Sunday I wasn't working, I was at church. So it was just like this really, really nice thing. And then when I got a bit older, I went to have like an 18 to 30s kind of like life group type thing. It's just really cool and chilling out and chatting to people. And like summer camps, oh my gosh, summer camps are amazing. Like, oh, so we have this thing in the UK called Soul Survivor, which is like this big massive summer camp for Christian teenagers like all over the country, and it's camping and it's loads of like cool Christian bands, and that's really good. And then we also have run like camps at Isle of Wight in this giant house, and that is so much fun. We've done that as just our church and also with a few other churches and Christian youth groups nearby in the area, and that's amazing. And then we've also got to do like Big Church Day Out, which is amazing. It's sort of like a Christian music festival over a weekend in May, and that is like, oh, I've been twice and I'm like booking to go again this year because it's so much fun. And yeah, I just think there's been so many amazing things, but most importantly, when things have been really difficult, I've had like this big amazing father figure to rely on, and that relationship, being able to have that relationship with the person who, in like what I believe, created the world and created individuals and blessed us, is kind of really amazing, really powerful. So I don't know, I just wanted to make it very clear. I know I've touched on this in videos before. I've said like what Christmas means to me and etc. But I just wanted to explain kind of where my background in Christianity comes from, like the fun stuff in it, the fact that actually becoming a Christian can be quite hard at times, and yeah, and it impacts people differently. And I just wanted to make it very clear that that is who I am. I go to church on a Sunday. I help out in my youth group when I can, like, and I don't think that's something I'm ever going to leave. So yeah, any questions? Let's have a discussion if you want to. Put it in the comments down below, and I'd love to hear what you guys believe. So anyway, I'll see you soon. Bye.